You hear that? It's Friday and it's tired.
Boom. Lever up to get to the latches right here. Basically slides right out. We are out here going to install this Mega Leaf Plow onto my Wright Stander mower. If you follow the channel, we just recently installed the wheelbarrow that they sell. So I bought the combo kit, the wheelbarrow and the leaf plow. Pretty excited about that. We have already installed this adapter kit right here. So if you want to know how to install this adapter kit, just go onto that wheelbarrow video that I will leave in the comments below, and then you can see how that attaches. So we are skipping this step and going on to the next step. Once you get your attachment here on, you're going to attach your attachment, what is it called? Attachment bracket? I don't remember what it's called. These big brackets that attach to the adapter kit right here. And these pull things right here are going to be on the outside. So this is going to be on the left one here.
There's only one.
That, are you sure?
There's only one.
So there's only one. So the one that pulls out right here is going to be on your left-hand side. And then basically these knobs on the top, we're just going to basically turn those and it locks it down in place. So we grab this big metal Mega Leaf Plow right here. And you're going to want to grab this bag of bolts that are right here. We're going to open that up. And what we're going to do first is attach the top.
So we're going to slide this.
Yep, it has to slide just a little bit. And you can see those holes right in here. Julian's going to pop that right in there.
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh. So Julian's going to pop that right in there. Is there a washer on there too?
Yeah, I got a washer on.
So that also includes a washer. So you're going to put the bolt in there with the washer. And we're going to do this. Yep, we're not going to screw them in there all the way tight because we're going to make some adjustments after this. And now Mega does have a video on how to do this. And if you buy this leaf plow, there is a video that they have on YouTube to do this. But this is going to be real world installation and see really how it goes. The wheelbarrow did not go as planned and we had to make some modified adjustments. So we're hoping not to make some modified adjustments on this leaf plow. Just hand tighten it. So now I think what Julian's going to do is grab that handle, slide this up here,
and then
it can go sideways.
You want to pull that lever for me? I think it'll lock into place if you can just let that down.
Pull that lever right there. Did it lock into place?
I think one side's tighter than mine.
One side is definitely, this one's sliding here. That other side is not sliding. It's not a big deal. We'll make some adjustments.
It's probably too tight.
There you go. So now what are we doing?
Now we're going to put the bottom ones in.
You want me to hold that?
I think maybe we should try to even this out.
Or you want me to hold it from the hand? Is this going to be easier or should we put it down to put those bolts in there?
I feel like it would be easier.
I think so too. The video said...
I think it's easy to put it up.
I think the reason we're putting it up is so we slide it.
And so then that way we can slide all the way to the top. So now that that's all at the top. The great thing about this too is that all these bolts are 9/16.
Yes, all these bolts are 9/16, which is amazing. And all the bolts for the wheelbarrow are also 9/16 as well. One disappointing thing about this right here, it came shipped. There was a strap right over here on the pallet. And obviously you see there's some damage. Not a big deal, just cosmetic stuff. Not going to affect the plow at all, but a little annoying.
Probably going to tear it up too.
We're going to do more damage than that did. One thing to be aware of, this did get shipped to me by freight, and it was shipped here, I believe, by a semi-truck. I wasn't here. My wife was here when it got dropped off, and they were not able to make this turn in my driveway. It is a pretty wide driveway, but they didn't want to obviously bring the semi down. So they ended up having to drop, am I on the way? The pallet down at the end of the driveway. Not a big deal, but just keep in mind that you are going to have to be home at the shop, wherever you're getting this delivered. They're not going to just deliver it to your house. You physically have to be at the house when this is delivered. That step is done. Now we're going to grab these rubber wings right here. And do you have the bolt set?
I think they're
This bag right here with the bolt set with these small bolts right here and these washers. We're going to open this up. Are these locking nuts? These do not look to be locking nuts. So the next step is to grab this package with these bolts, washers, and nuts. Grab your rubberized wings right here. And we're just going to put them all the way down. And we're going to do this for both sides. Now this is going to be the same exact size as your other washers. What do you need, a washer? So I think we're just going to hand tighten them for now and then get the impact after we get them hand tightened and drill them in.
Yes, I see that. Well, that's done on that side. Oh, you did have one up on the top.
Isn't this supposed to go through this though, bro? It's supposed to go through here.
Who is? How did that just happen? The bolt.
Oh no, that bolt goes right to the side. We're just screwing in this metal piece right here.
We're just screwing in the frame of the plow.
I was confused a little bit because I thought that rubber piece on the side was...
No, I think that's something's gonna happen with that. I don't know what. I think there's gonna be enough screws for you to do it yourself. Well, you know what?
So you're gonna want to make sure they're all the way flush. There we go. That top one's a little... There we go. After you got that frame screwed in, the next thing is you're gonna want to get these mounting brackets right here for the wheels. Then you're gonna want to grab your wheel, and this angles in. So when you put it on, you're going to have it angled in towards this bracket piece right here. And you're going to grab your 4 bolts, 4 washers, and 4 nuts. Now on the video on YouTube, it states that these are locking nuts, and none of these nuts at all are locking nuts. So that actually makes me a little bit nervous that with all the vibration on here, that these nuts might fall off over time. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, sorry for the noise in the back. We got the FedEx guy here, but after you got this the right way, just like this, you're gonna put those 4 bolts in there. We're gonna do the same thing for the other one. So after you get those wheels all put together, you're gonna want to grab your pallet that this was shipped freight from and go ahead and put it right under your leaf plow.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. At least that's what the instructions tell me to do.
Well, don't put it on the screws.
All right, so now that you got your pallet down here, we're gonna go ahead and pull the side pin over here on the left-hand side. I think you might have to twist it. No? Do we have to pull it up a little bit more? Yeah, there's too much pressure on that, so you gotta pull it up a little bit more, pull it, twist it. Go ahead and set this leaf plow back down.
Pop it.
Now we're gonna go ahead and work on wheel. On the back here, you got these 4 holes. We're gonna go ahead and attach those wheels on the back 4 holes. So this is how we're gonna do it. This is why we wanna put it on a pallet, so it's gonna be picked up a little bit and easier to put these wheels on right here. The instructions say make sure you grab your locking nut and put your bolt through with your washer. But the problem is we do not have a locking nut. That doesn't look long enough, bro. Is that long enough?
Huh?
That nut or the bolt? Looks a little short. We'll find out. What do you want me to do?
Right now?
Oh, there we go. You want me to hold that up a little bit?
At least until I get these.
So I probably recommend just putting all these through, hand tightening them all, and then after they're all 4 in, then grabbing your impact and tightening them down with your impact after they're all hand tight. It makes me a little bit nervous that there really are not lock nuts, because this is going to take a lot of vibration, I think. And if this comes out, I'm nervous that this is going to come back out.
I don't think it will.
I hope not.
I don't think it will. Let's have good spirits.
And I would think that that bolt should be a little bit bigger.
I think once it tightens up,
I guess this is rubber, so it will
so
tighten
I
up
feel
a little bit.
probably, and maybe that might help with the vibration area too, though. So it probably.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Click that like and subscribe button. Like I said,
Were you saying something?
click that.
Were you saying something?
I said click that. Click that like. Click that like. There are no videos on this. The only videos that I have found on this are from, what's the guy's name, you think?
I think his name is
Tyler? Troy? Aikman? Tyler? I don't know. Tyler, I think. The only videos I found on this are from Mega Attachments. So I'm pretty excited to get this out and test it. Be one of the first YouTubers, I think, out there trying to test this product. I will say I did buy all this with my own money. He did not give this to me. I wish he would have, but that would have been nice.
I think your wife would have too.
My wife would have approved 100% if he would have given this to me.
It was for free.
Mega is listening. Hey, look, we got the transformer over here, and we got your Mega attachment on the front. We would be, I don't know, maybe we make a bunch of videos, and maybe we could get a discount code and help people out buying this stuff. Honestly, dude, I'm looking at this right now, and that bolt looks a lot longer than the other bolts we just put in.
But I think this is pushed closer to the. I think I pushed this closer this time.
You think so?
Yeah, than the other side.
I don't think so, bro.
You don't think so? Let me go take another gander.
I wonder if they're different size bolts. They can't be different size bolts. They all look like the same.
Maybe. I wonder what this piece is for.
Huh. What's that? That piece I think is for the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Basically, we got these rubber pieces that are going to go on the ground, push the leaves on the side, push the leaves. But if we hit a tree stump or a root or something, the idea is that the bottom is going to flex and the side is going to flex. And I liked that idea. Now, I don't know if this is going to be more beneficial than those metal comb things on the bottom of the leaf plow or not. I don't know. We're going to have to obviously put this to the test and find out. All right, I'm pushing both of them.
Standing. I just gotta get it out of here.
That's why the bolt looks, this one looked longer, because we didn't have the wheels attached to it.
Yeah, get it in there.
I'm pretty hungry too.
It's kind of doing what it wants to do.
So after the wheels are in place, the next step is going to be pull this pin right here, and we're going to lift this leaf plow right back up. Is that heavy?
Oh, God.
I think this is pretty heavy, so I think it is actually beneficial to go ahead and purchase this winch kit right here to pull this up and down. I think that's going to be extremely beneficial for lifting this up and down. Instead of getting off every time we need to pull this up and down, stopping the mower, getting off, physically picking this up.
Guess what, though?
Yeah, the winch kit is definitely a better idea.
Guess what?
These holes don't line up.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, these holes don't line up.
Yeah, they don't. But you know what that winch does, though? 3,000 pounds, bro.
That winch will pull up 3,000 pounds, and this is not 3,000 pounds. All right, we're going to have to look at the instructions, because looking at these holes are not even close to the same spot.
These outside ones are, and there's one inside one. So I don't know.
Am I a little ticked off? How ticked off am I, Julian?
I think you're about 7.5.
I'm about a 7.5 ticked off right now. We found...
Wait. You just raised your voice, so it might be like 8.5.
I'm maybe an 8.5. So I am a little ticked off right now. We had some issues with the wheelbarrow. Go ahead and watch that. I'm not going to explain what we had to do to modify that. We're going to have to modify this as well. You should not spend this much money and have to modify this. This is crazy. So after lifting this up, the next step is to put this rubber piece on the bottom. You're going to want to get these double metal pieces here to go on the front. So it's going to secure this to the plow. And we'll go ahead in a second and show you why I'm pretty ticked.
Did you say the brace?
Yeah, that brace. Yeah. It's just the front brace, right?
There's 3 braces.
Yep, there's 3 braces, one for the sides and one for the middle, and then you're going to have another brace for the sides here. But once Julian starts to get this brace on here, I'm going to show you why I'm ticked off.
Hi.
YouTube. No. All right, so Julian is putting that side on. Let me grab this side real quick and just hold this up here for him. These holes are right here, lined up. Look at the middle. Those 2 holes are pretty tight. We pull this down. Look how far off that is. Extremely far off. We're going to have to go in here and drill through this rubber piece to create 2 more holes. Obviously, it's not the end of the world. We can do it, but we shouldn't have to be modifying this rubber piece to get this to fit this leaf plow. Mega, come on. This is obviously not going to affect the performance of this leaf plow, but it's extremely irritating that we're going to have to modify this. It's pretty far off too. Extremely far off. He might not like my review. This first hole right here is correct. This one over here is not even close. All right, I'm holding them for you up top.
Well, you need to push that one. The last one. Are you pushing it?
Yeah. So this is definitely...
No, you're not.
Damn, bro. Oh, there it is. I got it. I think this states it's a 30-minute installation. This is going to be a little bit more than a 30-minute installation. How long have we been working on this?
Bro.
It's been close to 30 minutes already. We're getting close.
I don't know the washer.
You need a washer?
Oh, no, I need a nut. I got it. I need you to
Pushing.
I need you to
Twist, flip, dip, hoop. I'm not pushing that one.
That's what I'm saying.
Which one? I'm pushing the farthest one closest to the house.
I already put one on there. Come on.
So to fix this manufacturer defect, you're going to need a drill and one of these bits. All right, so it's going to be easier, I think, for Julian to drill it from the back side because we can't see on the front side where the hole is. So he's just going to go through that metal backside and drill through this rubber piece. Looks like it's coming out about right there. Yeah, that's good. All right, bro, you're hitting this, bro. You're hitting the handle up here.
Am I?
Yeah, that's good. We can get that bolt through there. But you see how far off this hole was? That's not even. That's an inch and a half. That's not even close. That doesn't make sense.
Can I see one?
Yeah, all right, hold on, let me move this bracket. So this is extremely irritating right now. It's being a pain in the butt to drill this rubber piece up. No, the bracket's not there, hold on. Right, the bracket's there now. We spent probably about 15 minutes trying to get this when it should have been done right in the first place. Again, I'm not gonna say that this is gonna affect my overall review eventually of this leaf plow, but This is not a good start.
Bye, Theodore.
My dog's barking at the neighbors right now. We're trying to get this. Bro, let me get something to hammer. This hammer. All right, we got this through after pounding it with a hammer. Oh, man. You can obviously see we did some damage to the handle here. Just cosmetic stuff, not a big deal, but this should not have happened.
This might not work.
You don't think it's going to go through?
I don't think it's going to screw. I think we beat it through. I think it's not going to screw.
Bro, this does not screw in here. I'm going to be extremely
Oh, bro.
It's not thready starting at all.
Oh, there goes that washer. Wait, hold on. Oh my God.
So the problem right now we're having is that this bolt or nut is not going all the way through because we're having trouble drilling the rubber piece out. And now it's not, we can't get it all the way through because the rubber piece is defective.
Oh, got it.
There we go. Nope.
So I had it, right? But just when you
now the problem is we might not be able to put this washer back here.
No, maybe I had it going the wrong way.
It's going the right way now.
It's going the right way?
No, that's the wrong way. Right. Thankfully, we got it. All right, so the next step is to put these edge pieces on. You're gonna wanna do the same thing. You got these brackets right here and just screw them in just the same way we did this. We've been working on this almost nearly an hour. We are finally almost complete. Although I guess we do need to still put the winch on, so maybe we are not almost complete.
I forgot about that though.
Yeah, me too. After we got all the rubber corners done, now the next thing to do is remove your pallet, and we're gonna go ahead and lower this down all the way to the ground. And obviously, if you remember back in the beginning, we did not tighten those middle bolts right there. Yep, he's gonna pull it up just a little bit. You need some help. So Julian just went and put this down. You pull that lever right there. And now remember at the beginning, we did not tighten these bolts. So what we're gonna end up doing now is, what did it say, 1/4 of an inch? No, it said we're gonna want 1/4 of an inch with adjustment right here, which I think that is pretty stinking close to 1/4 of an inch right there. Each mower is gonna be a little different. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten these bolts up right now. All right, so I think we just hit a wall right here because the instructions say that we're supposed to take this mounting piece, which looks exactly like this, and mount this mounting piece with 4 screws on the end of this corner right here to this mounting plate. So this is supposed to mount to these 4 screws right here, but it's extremely small. So I am extremely confused what's going on. We're not missing anything. We don't have any other parts. This is what we have. This mounts directly to... does that even mount directly to that? But that's not even the step we're at though. The step we're at is right here, and it makes absolutely no sense. We're not missing anything. We don't have extra pieces. There's literally no other pieces that we have. We watched the video that was on YouTube, and this piece is the same piece on YouTube. This piece right here that was shipped with this, that was permanently on here, is not the same piece that he mounted on here to this bracket. So we're gonna pause the video, brainstorm some ideas right now, but we might have to jerry rig this again to get this back in place. So far this is not going good. So what we came up with is, watching the video, that this mounting plate is totally different than the mounting plate in the video that he sent us. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. This should mount like this. This should be bigger to screw into here. There's no way that this physically can screw into here without drilling through this metal. All right, obviously this video is not going as planned. We are currently trying to put the winch kit on right now, and the instruction video on how to install this winch kit that Mega sent is incorrect. This plate right here that Julian is holding is completely different from the video that he sent us. So I ended up messaging Mega, and they sent me a couple pictures. I will probably leave those pictures in the description below, or maybe even post it in here so you can see how this goes. But this is totally different from the video that he sent us. We're gonna end up bolting these 2 in here and bolting this winch directly to this plate with the washers underneath. That's not how the video showed us to do. That's why we're doing this about a month and a half later, trying to do this in the garage now. The temperature change is stinking cold out here, and it was pretty frustrating. I ended up reaching out and calling the phone number, and 3 days later, no phone call back. So I ended up messaging Mega I think his name's Tyler or something like that. I don't remember what the guy's name is, but I messaged him on Facebook, and shortly after I received a message with pictures. So if you're trying to get a hold of this company, I would highly suggest messaging them on Facebook instead of calling them, because that's obviously the best way to get a hold of them. So if you're looking to buy this, Mega does state that they highly recommend buying this winch kit. A lot of companies out there say, I highly recommend buying this product extra so they can make more money. But looking at this and how heavy this front plow is to physically lift up and down with the pin right here, it would be extremely difficult, I think, without this winch kit to use this plow. I would highly recommend purchasing this winch kit, or if you're not going to purchase the winch kit, maybe even you might be able to buy a cheaper winch somewhere else at your local hardware store and figure it out yourself. But a winch would definitely be beneficial for this. So in the video, Randy just stated, so we can't screw these corners in. In the video that they show, he's screwing all 4 corners in. This plate is not big enough to go on here. I'm not sure what has changed, but there's only going to be 2 screw points holding this, or 2 bolt points holding this down to the frame, which I think will be okay. But obviously 4 in the 4 corners would be pretty ideal and a lot better than the way it's set up now. I don't know that, I'm almost wondering that maybe they changed the winch itself, or the company that the winch, I almost think maybe the company that they went through with the winch changed how the base connected maybe.
I think I would have left it the same. I just feel like it probably...
Because right now, the way it is, we're only going to be bolting these 2 bolts here, right? Through these massive holes right here. And this should be the same size as here, and bolt them on all 4 sides. Now, it's going to work. Those washers are going to hold that in place. That's why they provide the washers for you. But it is definitely not ideal, and I don't think that's a good design.
You thought I did something wrong again, Randy?
No, just looking, buddy. You always right. I'm just looking.
So maybe we put the bolts through the winch kit first and then put the plate on, and then...
I just had it on there, but then Randy took it off.
I said just looking.
This is a 3,000-pound winch kit, but I'll tell you what, pulling this leaf plow up, this leaf plow is not anywhere close to 3,000 pounds. So I guess if you did want to save some money, maybe you could go and buy a smaller winch kit.
Depending on what you're doing with it. It would have been kind of nice that if the winch just stayed on there, even without the plow though. The whole plow thing has to come off of there. So I think it would have been nice if this was already mainly this part that we put on there that also holds the
But I do like though the fact that we can keep that bracket on there for the leaf, for the bucket attachment.
But I'm saying, can you imagine if we still had the winch kit onto this part of it? So just in case,
so we could use it for something else.
Maybe you were moving leaves, or you were moving a tree or a branch or something like that. You can literally tie the winch around it, drag the branch to wherever you did. But now you would have to come over here, or, you know what I mean, pull it in front of there.
We can always buy a separate winch.
It would be easy for putting this one here.
Yeah, you know what I mean though. Yeah. I think it would be cool because of the fact that in order for you to use a winch, you have to have this leaf plow on there.
Right.
So if the winch was right here, which still leaves you this right here, I think it would have probably been a better idea, because then you could just use a winch just in case.
I guess, and if it was mounted right there too, it still, I don't see why it wouldn't lift. It would still lift this up.
Because this right here, it actually comes to, you probably got about 1.5 feet space when you clean this up, so. Hey Randy, you okay?
Wait for you.
All right, so we got the winch kit on here now. What were you saying, Julian?
It's actually pretty sturdy.
With just those 2 bolts that are right there.
The other one isn't even tightened yet, but I'm just saying, I was expecting it to move way more than what it did, so.
It would be nice though if it was bolted on all 4 corners instead of just the 2 in the middle. I don't think it would be too much to ask to make, or to fabricate a little bit bigger bracket.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been that hard to fabricate a little bit bigger bracket. You're spending this much money on this, you could fabricate an inch more of a bracket.
That's all it is an inch and 2 extra screws. But I also think the reason why they didn't do that is probably because of the fact that the winch itself only has so many screws. And it's only a small gap to where you could screw them in at. So they got these.
The winch might have, I see what you're saying. Well, they still could have bolted this
down
4 screws down and then the winch to the bracket itself, I guess. That would just make the bracket so much more sturdier. But it ain't going nowhere, I would hope. Was what's the bolt called? A lock nut on the bottom of it? Because that's a big deal too. That's a good thing that they put that. All right, we got the guys outside fertilizing right now. So if you hear that, that's what's going on. Or in the other video that he sent us, he's having these bolts bolt in from behind and the nuts on the other side. Well, that's not going to be able to happen on this.
You won't be able to get this nut.
You're not going to be able to get this through here. So you're going to have to put the bolts from the front, put the nuts on the back side like this. So that video, because it pokes in just like that, right? So that part of the video is a little bit wrong. So you want to feed this right here through the middle of that and then bolt it from the back. I thought it should go in between here, but the video states otherwise. Who knows, the video has been wrong multiple times already, so there's that. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Once we get this up together, it works. That's all that really matters. So I believe if this is in your way, I think you can pull this lever right here. Can you pull that out, Julian, even more? There you go. That pulls out so you can manually pull that out of the way. So the next step is to grab your hook right here. There's a little pin you're going to pull out and then feed it through the cable and put that pin back in there. Then you're going to want to separate that pin so it stays in place, just like that. Now in the video it says, tighten down those 4 bolts that were right there. We don't have 4 bolts. It's already tightened down, so I guess we're skipping another step that's in the video. This is fine. I think he just needs to update the video. So what's the next step? The video said the next step is to put this on, but he's not going to show us how to put this on. He said refer to the manual. I know this isn't the product that they have, but you still could have at least showed people how to install this. We're definitely going to be able to figure it out, but there's some people out there that probably aren't going to be able to figure this out.
Or just showed how it worked.
Or just showed how it worked, put it on, showed how you just put it on. Freaking heck. So I guess now we're going to spend the next 10 minutes reading through the instruction manual. I'm tired, guys. This is the 3rd day we've been working on this thing, probably 1 month later. Yeah. And I think we're officially done. Let's show you what it looks like. So we all just woke up, came here for the day. They ended up finishing this last night. You see the winch here hooked up to the front of the plow. They ran, this cable goes directly to the yellow and blue point right here, probably a positive and negative, or up and down. And did you guys screw that through the frame?
Yeah.
We screwed some holes through the frame and bolted this right directly to the frame and ran it all the way up here, through here. Then they give you a switch, up and down switch right here. We found on the right that this was probably the best place to put it. You can use one hand right here and the other hand on the up or down. They do give you a remote control that we put up top right over there, and that will work also. So if you don't want to run that cable or have a place to screw, you can always put the remote control in your pocket. But I think this staying on the machine is probably going to be the best option. What are you guys saying now? You guys were saying something about don't really like the place of the winch right here where it's located, right?
I think we were saying that it should be back further.
So maybe the winch should be back further and on a mount a little bit up right here.
Even if it was on a separate piece, if you just pull this off and it was on a separate piece, or you can also take this off. Instead of taking the plow and the winch off, we also feel like it's too close.
Because right now, so all of our thoughts and what we have discussed beforehand was if this mower ever gets stuck and we need to get out of it or pull it out and take the winch off when we're working, we're going to have to unhook this here that goes directly to the winch. We're going to have to unhook the wires from the winch and then take it off, right? And then hook the winch back up, instead of, if the winch was right here, all we would have to do is unhook this one point right there and not do any rewiring. And Julian did make a point. He was saying if it was right here and we could take the plow off, we could use the winch separately and pull another mower out or something like that with the winch. I think that was what your main points right there.
Those are definitely the main points.
So I don't know, maybe we're totally wrong. We'll use this a whole lot over this fall and get a better hang of how it works. I just screwed around with it a little bit out here and it seems to work fine. So what would you guys give this build quality? It seems like a sturdy plow, decent made. I think there's just probably some minor adjustments that probably need to be made.
I think I'll have a better answer once it goes to use.
The putting it together part was kind of tedious.
The putting it together part
The
was...
directions weren't as good as they should have been.
Yep, their YouTube video is hard to follow. For the most part, it's easy to follow. There's a couple things that we had to fix on here. We had to screw some different holes, I think, right, in this rubber piece that's down here, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So we had to make some modifications on that, which was really ticked me off. We had to try and figure out how the heck to put this winch on there because the video showed a completely different way of how to put the stinking winch on. So that was extremely frustrating. We would have had this probably put together at least a month ago, but we didn't know how to put it together, or we just couldn't figure it out. There's really no instructions other than that video, and that video was not correct. So I'm glad that he got back to us and showed us how, with some pictures, how to put it together. I don't know. We'll make some videos and let you know probably this fall if this was worth the investment or not. I hope so. I hope this saves us a whole lot of freaking time.
It should.
It's Randy approved, I think, though. I don't know. All right, thanks for watching. Hope this helps.